Hello and welcome to my science tutorials. In today's video, we want to look at how to change improper fractions to mixed fractions. Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification button so that you don't miss any of our latest tutorials on this channel. Alright, so without further ado, let's start. Now, a fraction is normally expressed as a number, let's say a, on another number or divided by another number b. The number at the top here is what we call the numerator, and then the number at the bottom is what we call the denominator. Now, normally, if we have a fraction where we have the numerator to be smaller, let's say 4/7, okay, this type of fraction where the numerator is smaller than the denominator, we call it a proper fraction. So this is a proper fraction. Now, when the rule is reversed, or when this situation is reversed, then we have an improper fraction. For example, let's say we have 7/4 now, okay, because the numerator is now bigger than the denominator, this becomes an improper fraction. Now, we have a mixed fraction when we simplify an improper fraction. So we can say that 4 will go into 7 a number of times, that is 1, and then it will be left with 3, because 4 plus 3 will not give me 7, so it will be left with 3. Then I divide it by the denominator over here. So this expression, or this form of fraction, is what we call mixed fraction. Okay, so this is a mixed fraction. So in today's video, what we want to look at is how to convert this guy we have over here, improper fraction, into the guy we have at the top over here as mixed fraction. So let's have a look at some examples that we have for you today. So the first example we want to look at is 25/3. All right, so normally this conversion relies a lot on multiplication table, so you should have your multiplication table at your fingertip. So the first one I'm going to do is write a 3 times multiplication table so we can easily understand. So 3 times 1 will give me 3. 3 times 2 will give me 6. 3 by 3 is 9. 3 by 4 is 12. By 5 is 15. 3 by 6 is 18. 3 by 7 is 21. 3 by 8 is 24. And then 3 by 9 is 27. Okay, now if you look through the multiplication table we have for 3 over here, you realize that 3, the closest number to 24, okay, that would be the number we have over here. The closest number to 25 at the top over here will be from this multiplication table, that is 3 multiplied by 8 to give us 24. So that means that 3 can go into 24 over here 8 times. So that 8 becomes a whole number, so we write it as big as possible. So it means 8 will go into 25 8 times, so we write the 8. Now 3 times 8 is 24. It means that it will be left with 1, or remainder 1. That 1, we write it at the top over here, then we divide it by the denominator itself over here, so 3. So this becomes the mixed fraction that we obtain from this improper fraction. Now, like I said, this conversion relies a lot on your multiplication table, so you need to know your multiplication table really well. All right, so let's have a look at the second example. So we have 15/12. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Okay, so 15/12. Now if you look at this, this is a very simple example, because 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24, which is obviously greater than the numerator we have over here. So that means 12 can only go into 15 one times, just one. Okay, so we write a big one over here, and then that 12 times 1 is 12. Okay, so it means that 12 and 15, you have to add 3 to 12 before you get 15. So it means we have a remainder of 3. I take that again. 12 will go into 15 just once. It will be left with 3. So we write the 3 at the top over here. Then we divide it by the denominator here, 12. So that becomes our answer. Now, if you look at this, you can further simplify this expression, because the 3 over 12 you have over here can be simplified. That is, the 3 over 12 over here can be simplified. That is to say, 3 will divide itself once, and then it will go into 12 4 times. So this is now equal to 1 whole number 1 over 4. So this becomes our final answer. Alright, so let's have a look at more examples on this particular form of conversion. So let's look at 40, example number 3, 40 on 7. Okay, so if you do your multiplication table, you realize that 7 will divide 40, or 7 will go into 40 5 times, and that 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, so it means 7 will go into 40 5 times. That will give us 35. So 35 plus what will give us 40? That is 5. So it means that 7 will go into 40 5 times. It will be left with 5 again. So we write that 5 small, then we divide it by the 7 over here, and this becomes our answer. Alright, let's have a look at another example. So try your hands on this example. Example number 4, 17 on 6. Then example number 5, 11 on 9. Try your hands on it, and let's look at the solution together. Alright, so for 17 on 6, 6 will go into 17 2 times. That will be 12. So I write down my 2, very big. And then I know that after it has gone there 2 times, that will give me 12. It will be left with 5. So I write down the 5 on the 6 itself. So this becomes my answer. So for 11 over 9, 9 can only go into 11 once. So I write down 1. And then 9 multiplied by 1 is 9. So it means 10, 11. I'm left with 2. It's left with 2. Remember 2. So I write that 2 over 9. So this becomes my answer. Right. So let's try our hands on the following. So 1, 12 over 5. 2, 27 on 5. 3, 26 on 3. 4, 32 on 5. 5, 9 on 2. And then 6, 19 on 2. Right, so you can pause the video, try your hands on these examples, and then you can compare with mine at the end. Okay, so let's attempt the first one, which is 12 over 5. So 5 will go into 12 2 times, and that is equal to 10. So I write down the 2 very big, and then I know that 5 times 2 is 10. So I'll be left with 2 to get to 12. So it's left with 2, or remainder 2 over the 5 I was given over here. I cannot further simplify 2 over 5, so I leave it as such. Then I move on to the next question. 27 on 5. Now 5 will go into 27 5 times, and that will be equal to 25. So I write down 5 very big, and I know that from 25 to 27 is only 2 difference, so it is left with 2 over 5. This is my answer. I move to the next one. 26 on 3. Now 3 will go into 26 8 times, and that is equal to 24. So 3 times 8 is 24. So I write down my 8 over here. So 24, 25, 26. So it's left with 2 before we get to 26. So I have 2 over 3, 3 over here. So this becomes my answer. So we move on. 32 on 5. Now 5 will go into 32 6 times, and that is equal to 30. So I write down my 6. From 30 to 32 is only 2 difference, so it means remainder 2 on 5. 9 on 2. Now 2 will go into 9 4 times, that is 8. And then 8, we only add 1 to get 9, so we have a remainder of 1 on 2. And then the last example for this tutorial, that is 19 on 2. 2 will go into 19 9 times, that is 2 times 9 is 18, so 2 times 9 is 18. So it goes there 9 times, so I write down the 9. So we have 18. From 18 to 19 is only 1, so it has a difference of 1 or remainder of 1. Then I divide it by the 2 over here, and this is how we convert an improper fraction to mixed fraction. We ask ourselves how do we, or how many times will the denominator enter the numerator, and we write that as a big number. The amount that is left, or the number that is left before we get to that numerator, we write it as the remainder, then we divide it by the denominator to get our answer. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.